We're here on a chilly night in the house that Motherwell built. Welcome to Viking Stadium, where tonight our Vikings clash with the Panthers of DeWitt in a rivalry like none other. I'm Tony DeLisio, and alongside me is Ryan Rutherford. Ryan, what are your expectations for this big league game tonight?
Well, this should be a primo matchup with two of the top teams in the area. Both teams coming in at 3-0, and it should be a barn burner, Tony.
I believe so, Ryan. The Vikings have gone 2-8 in the last decade against the Panthers, but the two big wins have come the last 2 years. Let's see if they can make it one more time. We'll be back with DeWitt versus Haslett on TV25. Welcome back on TV25 as our Vikings are getting ready to charge the field. They're pumped up for this great league rival matchup. Tonight they'll face the DeWitt Panthers, as we said before, and this is a game for the record books tonight. Both teams are charging in with a 3-0 start, and the winner of this could spell league champion.
We're right there, Tony. These are two of the top teams in the area. Haslett ranked 5, DeWitt 2. It should be a primo matchup.
Earlier yesterday, we talked to Coach O about tonight's game and about last week's game with Williamson and the absence of Jake Fina.
Noon on Friday. Had some people call me who had found out, and it really didn't change our approach. I think it's unfortunate for him that those things have happened. I know he's had a lot going on in the last 6 to 8 months. But we didn't really change our approach. We didn't let our guys know until they started noticing in pregame that number 25 wasn't out there. But it really didn't change our approach. We still had to do the things that we worked on all week. But obviously, I think he's one of the better backs in the league, and not having them obviously hurt their offensive output. Well, I think right now with Tony, he's worked extremely hard. He's shown right now to be an extremely good leader, and you can tell he's worked hard in his passing game. It's going to be difficult to put pressure on him. So a lot of their passing game is a three-step game where it's 1, 2, 3 and throw, and it's all timing. So a lot of times you can't get pressure on him, but our secondary has to play well, and there are obviously some things we can do in terms of pass rush when he doesn't go three-step. But it's going to be difficult with that because they're extremely talented. They've got not only him and his passing attack, but great skill guys, and they got a very strong running game. This might be their best team I think they may have had in the last maybe 15, 20 years, and maybe even as good as the team in '89 that went to the Silverdome. So we got our work cut out. We really don't look past each game. We take each game as the most important game, which it has to be. And so we're talking to the guys about being focused and doing the things that we know that it takes to be successful, whether we're playing Stockbridge or whether we're playing Stevensville Lakeshore in the quarterfinals. And I think it takes maturity and kids being real smart about those kinds of things. But it's always difficult against teams who aren't playing well or don't have a lot of talent. But so far we've been able to maintain that. We want to have success. And then when we get a group of people who maybe doesn't take someone as serious or thinks we can just show up and win, then we're going to be in trouble. But hopefully we stay away from that. Well, I think one of the things that really helped us this year is we have a lot of experience coming back on defense, a little bit more than offense. And early on with the very quick preseason now, our defenses are usually everybody's defense is ahead of their offense, and that was our case this year. And but we got a lot of good players on defense, and offensively we think we can be really good. Early on, we just struggled throwing the ball a little bit. We struggled getting the offensive line, to have.
All right, that was Coach O with a little pregame commentary on how the game's going to go for his team. The Tony they were talking about is number 1 Tony Fleece, the DeWitt starting quarterback and linebacker.
Look for him to lead this high potent offense against the primo defense of Haslett. Should be a great matchup between the two sides of the teams that are among the best in the state.
Yeah, both these defenses are quite amazing, especially Haslett's giving up only 6 points this entire year. That was last week against Williamston, and DeWitt giving up only 22 points this year.
Exactly, Ryan. Both teams have great both sides of the ball, and we're in for quite a matchup right now. Haslett will start the game by kicking off. Kicking the ball will be tonight for Haslett will be number 14, J.J. Danoff. Perfect on the season with PATs and field goals.
And back deep for the Panthers right now is Michael Cost.
Cost, the senior wide receiver in DB, measuring up at 6'1", 170 pounds, and he's got quickness. With a big DeWitt lineup this year, he's going to get a lot of good blocks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cost do a little something right off this opening kick. Number 7 rounds aside, and he's got an opening. Down the sideline, he's got 2 men to beat. What a great save tackle by number 20, Tom Livermore. The star of the team's, of Haslett's special team this year, coming up with 7 big tackles this year. He's quite a hitter too, Ryan.
Yes, he is, but that right there is just a terrific start for DeWitt. They did exactly what they wanted, taking their turn 60 yards, and they will start with the ball at the Haslett 25.
On the opposite side of the field, Coach O cannot be happy going up against the 3rd-ranked team in the league in the Panthers, and this is not the way he wanted to start. He probably wanted to go get a quick, good stand on defense, go 4 and out, and give his offense some confidence and a chance to go out and get the first score. So Police manning the ball at the QB. It's a quick option.
Stuffed by Piscato. He read that all the way. What a play by Jeremy Piscato, getting in there and getting the sack.
Jeremy also one of the team this year, tri-captain. He's a senior. He just broke his hand last week against Perry, but he's a competitor and he's still out there fighting. Ryan, if I do believe, I think he broke that same hand last year.
Yes, he did, Tony. And he's fought through that to become a tremendous athlete.
Police with an option out to the running back, number 8, Troy Cowdery. That was a great trip-up tackle by Jared Twitchell, making his first start tonight in the season through 4 games at cornerback. He's a junior. There's a lot of young juniors on the team coming up to really contribute to this team after we lost a lot of big seniors last year. If you got a chance to check out the Lansing State Journal today, they had an article about that. Ryan, did you get a chance to check that out at all?
Well, yes, I did, Tony.
There's a nice article there with Conrad Bird fronting it on the front page. It's a quick out. Wide receiver number 88, Ryan Baruki. Make that Dave Anjana. That's quickly going to bring up a 4th down, and this is where that huge Haslett defense comes in. Just give them a chance to get on the field, and nothing's getting through it. You can see by them only giving up 6 points this year.
So the Panthers stuffed on their first 3 plays, and now we're going to see the great passing game of DeWitt, led by senior quarterback Tony Police.
Ryan, are you at all surprised to see them going for it on 4th down? Oh, intercepted by number 5, Chris Hunt. Great defense. They had 2 men on him, but Police forced the pass. That's a good pickup by Hunt.
It was a nice pick by Hunt, but Haslett would have the ball at the 30-yard line if he would have just dropped it and not picked it up because it was 4th down.
That's something that you'll learn with experience. When he gets into college, they'll have to teach him a little of that. You got to bat those down for field position. You got to always be thinking about the team.
So Haslett will start their first drive on their own 5-yard line.
Quarterback tonight, Conrad Bird. He'll be leading the offense. It's a quick handoff to Hunt.
It's no gain. We'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That interception was actually a very good play for DeWitt because it worked exactly like a punt. And that's not exactly what they wanted, but I'm sure that they'll take it.
Ryan, I was getting a chance to look at the DeWitt kicker earlier. He was knocking them dead from 45 deep. I don't see why they didn't just get the points on the board. With a big game like this, I want to go for the points over the chance.
Well, Tony, it would have been like a 45-yard field goal, which is tough at any level to make. But DeWitt does have a very solid kicker.
That was Chris Hunt knocking him. Chris Hunt knocking through the defense there for a couple yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. See what the Vikings can come up with here on 4th down.
It's perhaps a passing situation for Haslett. And Conrad Bird has thrown for 140 yards this year.
Haslett, unusually a passing team. They got those wing T back there and a great rushing team. And there you see it again by number 23, Chris Colpine.
And Colpine bruises his way near 1st down. We're going to see if he has it.
Colpine, a strong runner, coming up with 2 touchdowns in their last game against Perry right here in the Viking Stadium.
He did happen to have 191 yards that game and was our player of the game.
Got a chance to check him out on the late game interview. And if you heard the crowd right there, they're really excited for this game. A 1st down is pumping them up. They're not the only one, Ryan. This is one of the most excited games I've been at Haslett in a long while. Still early in the season, this game has huge implications on the league title. Fowlerville with already a loss. These look to be the 2 top teams. Not to mention some of the 2 top teams in Division II.
Well, you can just feel the atmosphere in the student section. They know how big of a game this is for Haslett, and they're going to try to cheer them on for victory today.
There's Adam Hinman, the big number 33, 6 foot, 189 pounds of pure muscle. When he comes through that hole, he comes through that hole with power.
Yep, he is tough to stop, and another 1st down for the Vikings. 2 big 1st downs, taking the ball, starting and near their own end zone, and now they're out to the 25 in reasonable field position.
They've got another 1st down, right? Wrapped up with no gain. That was Hinman again. The power. He's got a nice set of sideburns to go with that power, as I've seen in school, him walking through the halls.
Oh, yes, definitely, Tony.
These things are furry. I like him, though.
Yeah, me too. Well, he did get a trim job, and I don't like it as much trimmed. I like it better unkempt.
I like the scruffy. It's nice. It's really come back in. Bird back under center, 2nd and 8. Got 6:40 to go here in the 1st quarter of Viking Stadium. That's a pitch to Hunt on the opposite side. One man rolls up right next to the 1st down marker.
And he'll get near a 1st down, but he appears to be a yard or 2 short.
Let's see where they mark it, Ryan.
It all depends on the spot, and it's going to be 3rd down and short.
Nonetheless, Haslett is moving this chains, exactly what Coach will want to do after that rocky start off the kickoff. They really came through on the defense, Hunt with the pick, and they've now moved the ball 33 yards after taking over on their own 2. DeWitt really shutting down that middle for the Haslett running backs.
It's going to be a close mark, Tony.
I want to 1st down, Haslett. That's 3 1st downs in 3 series.
And it has to really help their confidence, Tony. Getting 3 quick 1st downs on this opening drive.
Of course, DeWitt, a very big game, always been in Haslett. Last 2 years, they picked up victories from DeWitt and winning the last 2 league titles, which was almost an automatic for the 10 years before that, Ryan. It's a great run up the 5 hole to Chris Hunt. It's about a gain of 9.
Yep, Haslett beat DeWitt 9 years in a row, coming into 2 years ago when Haslett just destroyed him here in the Viking Dome.
Not quite a dome, more of a stadium, would you say, Ryan?
Well, it feels like a dome atmosphere.
Yeah, it does, because it's really getting loud up in here, Ryan. This is a huge game, and both sides know it. I understand you. We're here. We're seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, this is one of the more hostile environments in all of football, Tony. Kind of like Death Valley down there at LSU, and
We're now MSU, former MSU coach Nick Saban is coaching.
and yes, he is.
Some people compare it even to the swamp down there in Florida, Gatorland. State played down there in the Citrus Bowl last year and picked up a victory in the swamp, which is really tough to do. Now it's another first down. Vikings moved into DeWitt territory on their 46-yard line. We got 5:30 to go on TV25 in Viking Stadium. It's another quick handoff. Looked for a second that he found room, but he was soon wrapped up by number 59, Ben Bilich, outside lineman and linebacker for DeWitt today. He's just 5'11", but he's a strong 184 pounds.
And this is a good sign so far. Haslett moving the ball with their normal offensive plays, and that's exactly what they wanted to do, and that's what they're doing now.
Hard-nosed football, that's what Haslett. Hunt finds room up the sideline, and he shows his excitement to the DeWitt defenseman by standing up in his face. Yell it out, Chris Hunt, we can hear you, and bring Haslett a victory tonight. Hunt coming up with that big pick in the first series of DeWitt's offense. Another first down for the Vikings. Time is ticking in the first quarter. Still no score. Bird under the center. Hunt going nowhere on that one as number 89 shot through the hole, Chet Davis. Davis just a junior, but his second year on varsity.
Haslett's offensive line has really been impressive with Justin Salisbury, the tight end, as well as Steve Davich.
And Justin Foote, number 74. This kid has worked hard in the offseason, got himself big, and earned himself a starting position.
The offensive line is punishing against the DeWitt defensive line. It's tearing them apart right now.
And there you see another instance of that as Hinman blows through the hole right behind Jeremy Piscato. Get a good shot there of senior leader Ben Bilich coming up with that tackle 2 plays ago. He's the center. He's the outside linebacker, but he's the captain of the DeWitt defense. And if they're going to do anything tonight, it's going to be behind his lead.
Big third down here.
Vikings are going nowhere. And this brings up a huge fourth down. After doing a great drive like this, the Vikings would really love to come out with a score, Ryan.
Yes, and it's decision-making time for Coach Aluski. The ball is at the 29. It'll be a 46-yard field goal. Punting wouldn't do much good, especially if you got a touchback.
We know Danhoff's got a leg, Ryan. He used to be a soccer player, and he can really come up in pressure time like he did 3 years ago against Romulus. Make that 2 years ago.
And there's a good look at the Haslett crowd, psyched up for today's match.
It's a good shot of Coach O leading the troops. What do you think he's telling them in there, Ryan?
Well, that's obviously going for it here. And
Vikings very successful on fourth downs throughout this year. They've had 4 of them. They've got the first down in every one of them. Here's a good shot of that last play, bringing up this 4th down. Make that a play of 5 plays ago when Hunt came up with a big 9-yard run to get another first down for the Vikings. Hunt lining up to the wide side. Bird under center. It's a passing situation, drops back 3-step. Batted down by number 89, Chet Davis, and another big play by Chet. Coming up with the last 2 plays, a big tackle for a stuff for no gain, and a block down. And that's a turnover down on downs, and that's got to be disappointing for the Vikings after coming up with a great drive. Nonetheless, it does put maybe a little confidence in them that they can move the chains on this hefty DeWitt defense, and they've put DeWitt in not great field position.
Yes, well, Haslett did move the ball 65 yards. And it was a very successful drive.
Move them up there. Start them out at the 35-yard line, and they got a touchdown, Ryan. That's about average field position for high school football teams. So look for the Vikings to put up a lot of points if they keep up that thing. Great hit there on Dedrick Thompson, the running back.
And Matt Whittet with a punishing hit there against him. Just went in there and popped him hard.
Whittet, a junior, also stars on the track team in the spring. A great 800 runner.
Yeah, and it's amazing, Tony, how someone that big, over 200 pounds, can be such a fine distance runner.
Cleese bumps it outside, and he gets room to run. Puts that out over about the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. Exactly, Ryan. Whittet is really big. He really worked hard in that offseason in the weight room. He gets those muscles pumping. He gets momentum going, I think, Ryan.
Oh, yes, definitely, Tony. And he can run close to a 2-minute 800, which is just phenomenal.
I think he's using a little bit of the sprinting type thing. As if you ever watch the Olympics, Maurice Green, Donovan Bailey, those guys are all big guys, big muscles, get that momentum moving, and you can't stop them. He just keeps it up a little longer than they do over 800 meters. Wow. Police under the center at 3rd and 2.
He finds a seam.
And Dedrick gets room to run up the middle. Hunt a low tackle on Dedrick, and that's about a gain of 14. Bring it out to the Vikings' 47-yard line. We've now got a minute 30 to go in this first quarter in this game of rivals. DeWitt has a rival in almost every sport in this league. They're the top in it every year. Police gets huddled up there by blue jerseys everywhere. Leading that charge was number 32, Gary Whitehill, a transfer from Connecticut this year, and a huge asset to this year's team. He starts at defensive end and backs up at running back.
It's going to be a loss of 5 on the play, bring up 2nd down and 15. And the clock's ticking with 50 seconds to play in the quarter.
The Vikings just exploding through that offensive line. On both sides of the ball, the line have been really doing a great job tonight. They're really pumped up for this game. Police, 3-step drop back. He's run down again. Sacked by number 79, Dave McManaman. They call him Big Mac here in the high school, and is he ever big? He's 255 pounds, 6'4", of something mean.
And he's only a sophomore, so he still has 2 years left to punish the opposition.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy go in Division I, Ryan.
And that brings up 3rd down and almost 4 miles. They have a long ways to go, Tony. And that will end the first quarter with the score 0-0.
Haslett's defense stifling, covering just every receiver on that play, and Police had nowhere to go. And it's really turned out to be a good one, Ryan. Just as we thought, a matchup. As I was saying earlier, it has a big rivals, and they really came pumped up into this game. Today, someone hung up all over our school. Something came off MLive, which is a website for high school football. People go on there and say stuff to advertise games. And if you want to hear something crazy, if you're a Haslett fan, you will not like this at all. This just comes off MLive. The writer is unknown. Here it is. DeWitt will win. Coach Zimmerman, that's the coach of DeWitt tonight, will have the boys ready for the game. They say it's not really a big game. Haslett is outmanned at every position. They can't cover anybody, and there's no chance of a pass rush. Sure, they'll probably move the ball on us, but there's no chance of them breaking the goal line. We have proved it is the next to impossible to score on our defense, but we will be generous and give you some points when our 2s and 3s are in the game. So you heard it here. They're calling the game at DeWitt 21, Haslett 10. Ryan, as a Haslett fan, this infuriates me.
Yes, well, it's just a bunch of money with a fan who doesn't know what he's talking about.
There's no room for that. We got a good sportsmanship game here, and we just want to see a good, hard-fought game, and really our Vikings come out on top. It's another drop back by Police.
What a hit there by Chris Hunt. He anticipated the pass, and he timed the hit perfectly so he wouldn't get pass interference.
That was intended for number 89, Chet Davis. It's going to turn it over on downs at 4th down. It's punting situation for DeWitt.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little about the field conditions tonight. It's about 50 degrees out, and let's take a look at the grass. The grass is blowing in the eastward direction, and it's moving this way, so the field conditions are good. Back to you, Tony and Ryan.
Well, thank you for that, Drew.
That seems very interesting. That could play big late in the game. Oh, and a low liner punt. That's going to give Hunt room to play. Oh, and he fumbles it. Goes for the pickup, but that's going to stay with Haslett as the ground caused the fumble.
It was a low line drive punt, and Hunt doing the smart thing, not trying to pick the ball up off the ground and run with it, but just fall on it to ensure that Haslett will have a possession.
Ryan, did you catch that kicker's number? Was it number 17?
I believe so, Tony.
That was Dan Kohler, a senior, 5'9", 170 pounds. The Vikings are start out at their own 35-yard line.
And I do believe that my cross-country coach is also named Dan Kohler.
Dan Kohler from Haslett. Coach Haslett football for 8 years after taking a break for 2 years. Came up with cross-country, the other fall sport here at Haslett, along with girls tennis and girls basketball. He's been now coaching he's now in his 3rd season with the cross-country team. Ryan, you've been with him for all 3 seasons.
Well, yes, I have, Tony.
That was a short gain there. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Quick handoff to Hinman.
He stays on his feet. Amazing.
Breaking arm tackles all over the place. And that's a good shot of Hinman's power right there.
Just plowing through would-be defenders.
There's a shot of Hinman there. He's got that arm wrapped up. If you were watching last game at all, he had a huge gas after getting caught between 2 helmets. Third and short. Hinman again with he plows through there for the 1st down.
And the key to Hinman's strong running is keeping his legs moving after the initial hit. You got to keep moving, and that's how you can break tackles.
If you ever get a shot of Barry Sanders back when he was playing, his feet never stopped. That's, of course, if you could catch a glimpse of them. They were moving so quick. We got a bit of a runner like that. You'll see him late in the game, maybe. His name is David Fedewa. He's number 20, and this kid has got quick feet. That's Colpine up the middle. He's found room to run over the midfield and up to the DeWitt Panthers' 45-yard line. Great run by Chris Colpine. And again, Vikings moving the chains. They really came to play tonight, Ryan.
And Chris Coping, one of the most dedicated and hard-working people you'll ever find. He works day and night on his skills, and has now became one of the top runners in the area.
Ryan, I played freshman football back 4 years ago. Chris Coping was on that team. At that time, he was a tight end who was second string. We got into the 5th game of the season, halfway through. They gave him one. We were blowing Portland out. They gave him one chance to run the ball. He goes 96 yards to our end zone, and the rest is history. Ever since, he's been a fullback, and he's been starting, and he's been tearing up the league ranks.
Good heavens, Tony.
It's a good shot of our Vikings right there. Getting a little bit of water break. DeWitt takes a timeout. After a rocky start on defense, the Vikings just moving the ball one chain after another. All right, we're ready. 10:07 in the half. 1st and 10. Ball on DeWitt Panthers 46-yard line. Ryan, I'm guessing for a run here.
I would say that that's probably the most likely thing that they'll do.
Oh, that's a keeper. But I was fooled.
Nope.
That was Adam Hinman, sorry, on a short gain. And this wing T offense from old school can really play tricks on your mind. Everybody's faking at all times. And hey, tricks the commentators sometimes. What can I say, Ryan?
Yeah. Sometimes they've been fooled the referee, and that's bad because they blow the whistle, and you could be running for a touchdown when the guy who was tackled doesn't even have the ball.
That happened quite a bit our first year when Coach O came in here from Ithaca. Coping bobbles the ball, but comes back up with it and gain of 2.
Kind of a shaky handoff there to Coping. And if you looked in the Lansing State Journal today, the predicted score for this game was 28-21 DeWitt.
Right now, there's really no sign of either of those scores coming out. We've got no score here through 15 minutes of play. But a lot of game to play, Ryan. Earlier in the game, I predicted a 24-17 score victory by our Vikings. Again, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th down and a punting situation. That 24-17 score might have been talking a little too soon. Somebody's got to get some points on the bird first, Ryan. Our punter, number 14, J.J. Danoff, also the kicker on the team. Excellent kicker, a 3-year starter for the Vikings. He's a senior.
And the way that these defenses are playing right now, the first score of the game might likely come on defense. Don't be surprised if it does.
That took a DeWitt bounce to the 20-yard line, and that's where they'll take over. To get a shot, a little bit of the field there, you can check out those orange cones set up. It's one of my jobs when I get out of school. A little Friday thing. We get home games, and I just take out the golf cart, set up those cones, put up the flags. It's a little fun thing. I like the golf cart. I drive around. Back to the game now. Police under center. He's going to try to get something started here after 2 series of nothing for DeWitt. Busting up the middle there by Diedrich. He was moving the pile alone, right? Was he getting a little help from the offensive line?
I do believe that he was.
That's what I call pummeling.
I've never heard that word before, Tony.
It's a wrestling term. I'm a wrestler. We pummel.
Oh, okay.
It's a little inside arm thing. You're busting through. Right back to Diedrich, this time going nowhere. Wrapped up by number 52, Jeremy Piscato and Gary Whitehill. It's getting a little chilly up here in the booth, Ryan. we got a little wind coming from the south.
Yes, it is a tiddly bit nipply out today. And with the wind gusting in here, it's become quite cold.
I look for it to be partly sunny tomorrow and around 65 degrees. Right now, we got a temperature of 48. Ryan and I also weatherman for the TV25 news station.
And there's the Viking crowd.
You see them all bundled up. It's a quick pitch by number 4, Cole Thalen. That's his first carry of the game, and that's a carry of -2 yards.
That'll bring up 4th down for the Panthers and a punting situation.
And again, the Vikings stifling on defense with DeWitt going nowhere. First team to score may be the winner here, Ryan. Both defenses are really doing a good job.
There's punter A.J. Moosenberg, pretty shaky on his first punt, and this one as well. They're both low line drives, and Hunt having problems handling it. It's been effective, though, these low line drive punts. Hunt has not been able to handle them and gain yards off of them.
Something that may add to that bobbling of the ball, Ryan, was a little bit of a wet field. About around 6:10 p.m. here in Haslett, we got a short 5-minute rain, and that may have soaked up the field a little, causing a little dampness and adding to the dew coming here at night, Ryan.
And probably have about a half hour, we'll get the full effect of the dew on the ground, which will create a very soggy and tough environment to play in.
Hunt, a quick sweep outside on a gain of 15. Great run by Chris Hunt. Spinning and slicing, dicing.
Chris Hunt, one of Haslett's top basketball players.
Hunt's got great quickness, running a 4.65 40. Ball now on the Vikings 45-yard line, bringing up another first down. Vikings have not yet failed to go just 4 plays with and out. They're really moving the chains. And it looks to see we're getting a little bit of rain here, Ryan. Number 80, Dennis Markey, stretches Hunt out there. A loss of 5 on the play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 15. And now the rain is now picking up. And this spells for good fun for those players out there. I played a little football in the rain myself, Ryan. And when it gets muddy, ooh, geez.
Yes, it is a lot of fun to play in the rain, but for the fans, it's not a very pleasant experience. But I'm sure with such a huge game here that they won't even notice that the rain's hitting them.
That's Colpin with another quick run. That's 8 yards. Dragging number 66, Kevin Ramirez, to the 48-yard line. Colpin with strong legs. He's a hockey player. That really helps out. And I don't know if we can get a shot of this, but Chris Hunt is down on the field, and he's not in there on offense. He's a regular starter, and he looks to be clenching at his hand. Wonder if he got it banged up there behind helmets. Ryan?
Well, that hurts really bad when that happens, and it's not something that anybody would like to go through.
It's again, Colpin with the ball. Runs into a little stoppage there at the 49-yard line, but bangs his way up to the 46. It's going to bring up fourth down and 3 yards. And it's going to bring a punting situation. Coach O is not taking any chances. Number 24, Tom Livermore, is lining up on the side, though. I wonder if we're going to find a fake. No. Danoff, a high punt. Short but high. Gets a Viking bounce right down to the 24-yard line. And we're just going back and forth here, Ryan. A battle of the defenses.
We still have no score with 3:34 to go in the first half.
And I'm sorry for the fans, Ryan, but I'm glad I'm up here in the booth not getting rained on. What about you?
I'd have to agree with you there, Tony.
Vikings setting up their very classy field, all painted up for this huge league game. Got the Viking there in the middle.
And they happen to paint that Viking in the middle of our cross-country meet.
I remember that, Ryan. I was here 2 days ago. That was your first meet back from injury, if I do believe. Police two-step drop back. Finds a man in the middle. It's number 7, Michael Cost.
And Police delivered that pass right on the money. Perfect pass by Tony Police, and Michael Cost was wide open.
Cost with great yaks after the play. That's yards after catch. He's really got speed and runs it up to the midfield. With short time here to go in the first half, DeWitt's going to try to come up with some points to try to put Haslett in a pressure cooker coming into the second half, Ryan.
Yaks, Tony. I've never heard them, but before, did you make that one up yourself?
No, I didn't, Ryan. I caught a couple games back a few years ago with Al Michaels, one of my idols. He's a Monday Night Football man. He uses that line a lot. I might get a chance to meet Al Michaels, Ryan.
Really?
Yeah, he's coming to a banquet in Lansing, and I might get a chance to go. And that's going to be a highlight of my life myself, because Al Michaels, as I said, one of my mentors as a commentator. He's well respected and one of the game's best.
Well, it sounds like it'd be a highlight for anyone ready to go meet Al Michaels.
Police another drop back, and this is where the DeWitt passing game really comes into play. Late in the half, late in the game.
And you can see Police's cannon just busting out. He threw that pass nearly 50 yards, just a cannon.
Police very athletic. He's a three-sport man for DeWitt, playing football in the fall, basketball, and baseball. I'm sorry, we're sorry for some quick field shots down low. We had to pull the camera there for a sec. The rain is really picking up down here. But we're now back in Police on an outside route. He's going out for a pass again. Up over the outstretched hands of number 88, Dave Angino.
Well, the pass was high, and that brings up 4th down and 10.
After that great start with a pass right on the money to Michael Koss, DeWitt can't come up with anything, Ryan. It has this defense, again, just playing great. Right now, I would have to say they're ranked 1 or 2 in Division II with their defense, Ryan.
Oh, yes, definitely, Tony. Haslett is ranked 8th in the state, DeWitt unranked.
For some reason, the paper had the DeWitt ranked 3rd in the area, though, up over Haslett's 5th in the area ranking.
And let that go. You can stop dead. Nope. It's going to be a touchback.
Twitchell lets it bounce right into the end zone. Haslett's going to take it on the 20-yard line with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go.
And that was a very smart play there by Twitchell, letting down go into the end zone.
A little bit lucky though, Ryan. It started to slow down there at the end. And we got ourselves a downpour, folks. This could make it tough for that DeWitt passing game to really come up in the second half if this field gets wet, because that ball is going to be slick, Ryan. Bird under center. It's a handoff to Hinman. Short gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Last year, I got a chance to see a Sunday night football game like they always do on ESPN. This was Kansas City and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was absolutely pouring, Ryan. It was coming down off the field. You could actually see it flooding off the side of the bleachers, and all they could do was rush the ball, Ryan. There was no passing, and that could spell difficult for DeWitt in the second half if that same thing happens here. Colpian again dragging the runner with those strong legs. About a 6-yard gain. Can bring up 3rd down. And if you're Coach O, you just want to keep getting first downs and just run out this first half because your team has really come up big here and is playing well.
Yeah, it was not wanting to take many chances deep in their own territory with a minute now to go in the first half. And it appears that they're just running on the clock and perhaps looking for a big run.
And that's always a chance with these runners. They're all very quick and could break one at any time. And there's Colpine. That's going to be a first down. Just under a minute here to go in the first half.
And the clock will stop with 50.2 ticks left.
Bird taking a timeout now on the side of the Vikings, and they're going to try to get a score, Ryan. They're going to try to push the pressure onto DeWitt.
Yeah, Haslett now probably about 30 yards out of Danhoff's range. And they only have one timeout left.
Okay, Coach O in there right now, explaining to the team exactly what he wants to do. He's got it planned out. He's got this whole game planned out. This is a game that everyone marks on their calendars. This game, the winner of this spells league championship. I can't stress that enough, folks. This is huge, huge. Bird starting one of the biggest game of his career. This is what he's been dreaming about ever since he was in 3rd, 4th grade, and his dad was making him throw spirals through a tire 50 a day.
And they also run a good strawberry and blueberry farm out there.
It's a Bird Strawberry and Blueberry Farm. It's out on Haslett Road. Come take a look at it and get yourself some fresh strawberries there in the spring and summer.
And they're quite tasty.
Pounding up the middle is Hinman.
So as they're going to do the hurry-up offense, they're on 37.
Time is ticking, just under half a minute, just about right now. We're on TV25. They're going to take...
Clock is still running, Tony.
They're going to take it slow here, try to set up one more play. I think they're going to go for a pass here, Ryan. I see Justin Salisbury in the game, now being recruited by the Thundering Herd from Marshall, who just played MSU last week. They got a chance to check on him on the 5th quarter on CBS. And they're... Oh, that's a run up to Hinman, up the sideline. Try to get out of bounds. Now just under 5 seconds to go. And Vikings calling their last time out of the half. As I was saying, Salisbury with a great game last week. Just 3 catches, but well over 200 yards receiving. The Marshall coaches got a chance to check him out on the 5th quarter. They saw that strike off the first play from Bird to Salisbury, and they immediately called up Coach O the next day. And that's got to be exciting for a high school player, Ryan, being recruited.
Yes, it does, Tony. And Haslett will only have one more play to go before the half. So we'll have to go for a touchdown here.
So we'll get a chance to look at Bird's arm. 140 yards passing this year. See how that work with the tire is coming through now in high school, Ryan. 4 points, 5 seconds to go. Here's a replay of Hinman up that sideline. Barely just missing to getting out of bounds. And on the tackle there from DeWitt was Michael Koss, a great wide receiver from DeWitt. Picked up that last receiving from the strike from Police. Bird under center for the last play of the half. It's a handoff to Colpine. Going nowhere on a 3-yard gain, and that's gonna be the end. At the end of 2 quarters, a 0-0 tie here in the Viking Stadium between the Panthers and the Vikings. We're now gonna get ready for a great halftime show for our Haslett band. Enjoy it, and we're looking forward to having you back for the second half.
3, 2, 1, it's jam.
We're back on TV25 of the second half of Haslett Vikings and DeWitt Panthers. And where the rivalry is really matching up to what believed. It's 0-0, no score, and the defenses have been the story here today, Ryan.
Well, the teams haven't been exactly striking on all three cylinders, but defensively they've gotten the job done, shutting each other out at halftime.
You're right, Ryan. Haslett has been moving the chains a little bit more than DeWitt has, though. The running game really doing well. That offensive line really pumped up for this game and really showing it. This broadcast is a moment of TV25 Sports. Haslett will get the ball after kicking off in the first half. Let's put put 24 minutes on the clock, Ryan. The one with more good plays, as Mr. Town says back in the studio, and which good plays equal touchdowns, will win the game.
And I heard a rumor in DeWitt's weight room. They have the score from last year, which was Haslett 44, DeWitt 20, hanging up to try to inspire them to play good this game and erase any memories of last year. And we'll see how that helps them in the second half.
You're right, Ryan. This is a game that both teams trained for all year. This is a pressure cooker right here. As we've said time and time again, you can't say enough. I'm thinking the winner of this game could be league champion. This is just such a big game this year. Because you really love to go into the playoffs undefeated. That really can help you and give you confidence, Ryan.
This is the kind of game where stars are born.
And a short kickoff by Dan Kohler. That's going to roll out of bounds. A flag on the play, and that's going to move up. So Haslett's going to start out on the 35-yard line. Raising his hand there, number 71 for Haslett, Eric Wallenberg. That raising the hand signifies where they're going to start the huddle and where the Vikings are going to start off their run to history to try to become one of the best teams Haslett's ever had here. Try to go to undefeated season and state champion. And after good play those last 3.5 games on defense, that could very well happen if they get some points on the board here tonight, Ryan.
Yes, and on Haslett's first drive of the game, they marched 65 yards. This time, they have 65 to go to start their second half drive to the end zone.
And Hinman on the carry of 7 yards, brings it up to the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3. Bird under center, just into the second half now on TV25. Fumbled on the snap.
And it appears that Haslett will still have the ball.
A little bit of a mix-up there between the quarterback, Conrad Bird, and the center tonight. Nick Hamilton. Okay, big third down for Haslett to start off the half with good motion. They don't want to be deep in their own territory with their defense, even though they do have very good defense. And DeWitt wraps them up for no gain. That's going to bring a 4th down in a punting situation. Danoff will be back. This will be Danoff's 3rd punt tonight. Back to receive is number 7, Michael Kost, also a wide receiver and a DB. You got a glimpse of him in what he can do in the first half off that strike by Police. And a low punt by Danoff.
Dave Angina is going to get it, and he's wrapped up immediately.
That'll give DeWitt their first offensive drive on their own 22-yard line starting out. This is the first year that DeWitt's coming out into the season without those winged helmets. Ryan, those are the same helmets I'm describing as what Michigan plays with. They play with for so many years, and DeWitt had too. And DeWitt had those winged helmets for all those great years in DeWitt. After about 12 ICL championships in a row. And after the last 2 years, maybe they thought it was a time for a change, a new team. And they're coming up with one of their best teams. And that's a fumble.
Haslett's got it.
Let's go the other way, and this is a great break for Haslett. And after about 5 or 6 great drives by Haslett on offense, the first half, this could be just the break that they needed.
And they will start with the ball near their own red zone.
And we're gonna get a replay of this. It looks like DeWitt's gonna keep the ball.
I don't know about this. Haslett obviously had the ball. Here it is, right here. The fumbled snap.
And it looks like the
Vikings do fall on it.
You know what can happen sometimes in there, Ryan? You get a pileup and guys are just fighting. The ref can't see anything. Whoever comes out with the ball is the one who gets it. It's a little bit of junk. There's another pass by Police. Cost lays out for it, but just out of his hands. And Police really got a cannon back there. Just miscues a little bit, but he is dangerous, Ryan. And you got a chance at halftime to see a great performance by this Haslett band, and it was really coming down. And that's going to add to that slick field, Ryan, that we were talking about in the first half. And I don't know how much more he can keep out that passing unless he's toweling it off in the huddle, which he probably is, which most teams have their quarterback doing, Ryan.
Yes, and it was a very gutsy performance by the band, coming out in this rainy environment and still managing to perform well.
They're troopers.
That's what I like to see.
They're troopers.
3rd and 11.
Police again dropping back, looking for Cost again. That's going to be no catch.
Incomplete in a punting situation for DeWitt. And we would expect another low line drive punt, which is actually pretty smart in this weather because it's tough to handle a wet ball.
One more time we're going to get a chance to see where the Vikings could have, and in my opinion, should right now be driving to the end zone, having the ball. Get it slow motion so everybody can get a chance to look at this. Fumbles off the knee of number 8, Troy Cowdery.
It's hard to see. Pescado standing right there, but
it looked like number 2, Jared Twitchell got a chance to, and Hunt back into the game now after that hand drill early in the game. Receives a high one for the first time tonight.
And Haslett will start with great field position at the DeWitt 37-yard line. So despite not getting the break on the turnover, they'll still start off in great field position.
Let's see what they can do, Ryan. Got great field position. They've been really running the ball well. Winners come up in big situations and when they get breaks, Ryan. And this is a break. Let's see what Haslett's made of right now. Him line up wide. It's a handoff inside to Kolping. Breaks one tackle. Cost drags him up to the 31-yard line. Kolping moving those legs all the time, Ryan. As you described earlier, what makes a good running back. Moving those big legs by Kolping with the power. Brought down by Michael Cost. Assuming a gain of 5. Bring up 2nd and 5. Should make sense, seeing it's about 10 yards on the first down.
Kolping with very, very strong legs. He can probably squat a house with legs that are that strong. He's unbeat really well, and he keeps them moving. And that's why it's so tough to bring down.
It's a keeper by Bird, the first run received by him tonight. And this is the first time we've really got a chance to see where that slick field is coming into play. Bird trying to cut off that left foot, slips, and that gives a chance for number 8. Number 8, Troy Cowdery come in and get that tackle. Here we'll see it one more time. You'll see Cowdery come up on the left side as Bird sweeps that outside on the keep, and his left leg will slip out on this cut. Here it goes. There's a slip, and it's all over from there, no gain.
Bird there running to the short side of the field. And that's tough to do on a QB keeper.
It's gonna bring up 4th down for the Vikings. Kolping on just maybe a gain of 1, if that.
4th and 4, and Danhoff is coming out on the field, gonna attempt a 47-48-yarder. Put Haslett on the board.
It's on around the 30.5-yard line, Ryan. Mark that out to 37 with the 10 yards and make it a 47-yarder. And Danhoff has not missed yet this season from anywhere. It looks left, Ryan. Does it have the distance? Just short, and that's going to cause the first miss of Danhoff this year, but that's okay. At least they give him a little experience for later in the game, and maybe he can come up with a big kick.
Haslett unable to capitalize off the turnover, or off the solid defensive stop.
Looked like the holder there had a little handle problems. I wonder if that had anything to do with the kick going a little left and short, Ryan. It is wet out there, and the rain is coming down once again. number 43 from the Vikings, jumping up and down, trying to pump up these Viking fans. It's raining, it's cold, but then it's a 0-0 ball game with 6:57 to go in the third quarter, and we got a great matchup, a rivalry like none other between the Panthers and the Vikings in Viking Stadium right now. It's a strong run by Diedrich up the right side. And I'm really starting to feel the effects of this rain and wind, Ryan.
Yes, there is a very mean breeze coming in off a mud lake, and we're feeling it right now.
That lakeshore really has a big effect on this football field. A lot of times we can get some rain and a little wind off that. You know, if you've ever been out there in the fall, those waves can get up to 2-3 feet at least, Ryan.
Oh yes, definitely, Tony. And that lake is only about 300 yards behind the visitor sideline.
Police on a keeper, quickly wrapped up by a mustard of blue jerseys. In on that was Whitehill, Piscato, and number 55, Dustin Johnson, the junior sensation.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Just under 6 to win the third quarter.
Dustin Johnson, that junior sensation I was just talking about, really had a big game that first game. Then he got injured, but now he's back for this huge DeWitt game, and he's really coming through big.
And here it is, the fans on their feet. 3rd down and 3.
Koss spread wide. It's a hand up the middle to Diedrich.
And he's not going to make it.
He's blown back by the Vikings, and they'll get it back again with great field position. If it's anywhere like last time, right?
Well, it's going to be 4th down and about a yard. And DeWitt will select a punt. The smart situation to do. The smart thing to do in this situation.
If you're head coach from the Panthers, Rob Zimmerman, this is really smart because it's still a lot of time to play. You don't want to give the Vikings any more field position than they already got. And there's a punt. Punting that ball will be A.J. Meisenberger. And another short
kick,
punt.
but a DeWitt bounce.
It'll go just over midfield. The Vikings will take over at their own 49-yard line. And it's freezing up here, folks. Up here in the booth, down there on the field.
It's a monsoon out there, Tony.
The Vikings are gutting it out in this huge league game. 0-0 tie on TV25 Sports. We're here at the home of the Vikings in the house that Motherwell built.
The final 17 minutes to go into the game. This is when the senior leaders should start stepping up for Haslett. The Adam Hindmans and the Chris Colpines, and the Jeremy Piscatos.
Indeed, you're right, Ryan. Indeed, you're right. There's a broken arm tackle there by Hunt, and what looked to be a short gain, Hunt turns that into a 4-yarder. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6. And that's great smartness by Hunt to break that tackle and keep his legs moving. Offensive line for Haslett doing a great job. I'm keying on a couple players tonight on that offensive line. Justin Foote, number 74. This guy's gained 150 pounds on his bench since last winter.
And Hindman stopped from nowhere.
Has really been training. I trained with him a little bit, and this kid's got great work ethic. That will bring up 3rd and 7 for the Vikings after Colpin was dropped for a couple yards loss.
We're now under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
This is where injuries come into play, Ryan. This cold weather, those helmets on those arms and legs can really hurt. Smacking, and they're going to be short of it, and that's going to bring a punting situation. And after 2 good situations and breaks to get great field position by the Vikings, they're really not doing much. Coach O can't be quite as satisfied as he was in the Vikings' first half play. Nonetheless, it's still a tie game, and it's anyone's ball game right now, folks. Again, Koss and Dave Anjana back to receive.
He's on the field!
Koss will receive. He's got time to move. This is where that quickness comes through. And a great tackle by number 43. Matt Whittick, a monster.
First down for DeWitt. The ball will be marked right at the 19-yard line.
It's me blowing on my hands, folks. It's getting cool and wet out there, but these players gutting it out. It's all heart from here on out. Just about moving into the fourth quarter, still at a tie ball game. These defenses playing spectacular tonight, Ryan.
Yes, and the great American distance runner Steve Prefontaine once said, I'm going to try to work it out, so in the end of the race, it's a pure guts race, and then I'm the only one who can win. And that's kind of the same thing right here with both these teams. It's going to come down to pure guts.
And you just saw a pumped up Steve Davich coming up with that great tackle for a loss for the DeWitt Panthers. You're right, Ryan. That was that quote from Steve Prefontaine. He's an inspiring guy. I looked at him as a mentor in my training to become a state champion and eventually move on to the Olympics as he did. Police back to draft on 2nd and 12. Diedrich bundled up. And the Vikings are all over the rush tonight by the Panthers. And the only hope for them is a pass tonight, Ryan. And with it raining out here, I don't know how far that's going to go.
Yeah, well, also, right now, as the game's going, you probably wouldn't want to throw a wet ball because that's a situation where you could get an unaided pass for an interception for a touchdown, which that seems very likely right now with the game seeming to head toward overtime, which Haslett would have the advantage because they have the better kicker in this game.
Okay, now 3rd and 10. Police under center. You're right, Ryan. Police already with one interception tonight, and it would not be good to throw one more in this kind of field position. It could go for 7 just like that, Ryan. And I wouldn't be surprised if anything like that happened right now. You said the first score would probably come to the defense, and the way it looks, the defenses are showcasing this game, and that they could come with the first score. Okay, 4th down. We're going to throw it to Drew Finkbeiner with a bunch of people down there, fans.
All right, it's freezing cold out. It's raining out, but we still got the best fans in the ICL. Here they are.
And there's the punt.
Back to you, Tony and Ryan.
Thanks, Drew. You're definitely right about that one. Haslett and DeWitt fans can contend with some of the league's best. Some good sportsmanship down there, and I love to see stuff like that, Ryan, supporting their team out in this weather. And that was a great punt this time by A.J. Mussenberger, one of his best tonight. He got that off around a 40-yarder, and they got a great DeWitt roll, and that's going to bring up Haslett 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. And we just got under 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Bird wrapped up there. It looked like he was going to try for the keeper, but he was going nowhere. Now winding down to 30 seconds. 2nd and 11. That was a 1-yard loss. Hinman, Colping, and Hunt the backs in the wing tee. Look to be Hunt on the run of maybe a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8, and that's going to end our 3rd quarter, folks, here on TV25. One more quarter to play, and it's still 0-0. And if you can get a chance to hear the fans here, they're holding up the number 4 and yelling it out. I don't know if you could hear that. Haslett always holding that up at the end of the game, because this is the quarter of champions. This is what makes the players, makes the great players, Ryan. The people who come up in the pressure situations.
Yes, and then as I said earlier, this is where stars are born in situations like this.
Okay, we're still on TV25, and it is raining cats and dogs out here, folks. Haslett still with the ball. It's a 3rd and 6 situation. They're going to change directions here. Be going the other way. And they're going to be on their own 43-yard line. Vikings again with good field position, Ryan. This is now 3 possessions in a row. And how do you think Coach O is feeling about maybe offense right now, how they're running? I mean, they haven't really gotten anything, but no one is really in this defensive battle.
Well, this game right now is a battle of field position, and where Haslett has it right now, they do appear to be winning that battle.
It's going to bring up punting situation with Hunt on a short 2-yard gain. Send Dan off back out there. He's had a lot of PT tonight, folks. Playing time. Down on the field, I'm getting a glimpse here. Whistles all over the place. It's going to be a timeout on the side of the Panthers. I'm getting a shot down here of another camera crew. It doesn't look to be our own TV25. I think it's Channel 6 News, Ryan. I do believe I saw earlier in the season that this was their game of the week. And there we're getting a good shot of them. I'm not surprised, Ryan. This is a great rivalry. And as you can see here, we've gone 0-0 through 3 quarters. There's Coach O giving it to the guys there, telling them what they got to do. There's still a lot of time, 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go. But with it getting wetter and wetter, there's not going to be much more time to be passing the ball. It's going to be a run from here on out. So the Vikings have to do something with the next couple of possessions, Ryan.
Yeah, you have to think that a big-time special teams play might be coming up in this game.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the next few punts with Haslett. Causes a lot of quickness back there, and if he gets a chance to run it. And an aired punt there by Dan off the side of his foot. Just over the 30-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will take over. As I was saying, Ryan, Koss with a lot of speed, and also Hunt on the side of the Vikings with a lot of speed. Ryan, I remember a play that the Vikings used to do when Lewski used to come here. I think it was called the Starburst. You remember that?
Yes, I do, Tony.
That used to work pretty good. I wonder if he ever thinks of that anymore. The Starburst is a play where the ball is kicked to a certain guy, maybe in the backfield, in the back there, Hunt. Then all of the other defensive guys come together in a circle, and they'll maybe pass the ball around, and it's a total, you don't know where the ball's going if you're the defense.
Yep, any one of the players could have it. You don't know.
It's a reverse to number 4, Cole Thalen, second carry of the game, and this one comes up a little bit better than the last time, gaining a gain of 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Okay, let's throw it down to Drew Finkbeiner for some field conditions.
As you can tell, the weather conditions have changed, so have the field conditions. It's gotten a lot wetter and a lot colder. Therefore, the game's more sloppy. All right, back to you, Ryan and Tony.
Thank you for that, Drew.
Okay, now that brings up 3rd and 5 situation after a short gain by Diedrich. And Drew, you're absolutely correct. That field is getting wet and sloppy down there. There's people slipping all over the place.
And we're now down around 10 minutes to play in the game.
Police with that great arm, and he's got a towel down there, wipe out the ball. And I was just about to say I wasn't surprised to see a passing situation. There's a quick pass to Koss, and this is where the speed's going to come through. And Twitchell ankle tackles him and wraps him up to hold him up just in time for number 8. Might Mick Miller to come in and get that tackle on Koss. And that was a touchdown saving play, Ryan. All right, we're gonna send it right back down to Drew again for some more field conditions.
As you just saw in that last play, field conditions are getting pretty important. Let's take a look. It's become a lot colder, and it's also a lot wetter, so the plays are just getting really messy. Back to you, Tony and Ryan.
Police again to the air. Pass intended for number 86, Jared Wood, just out of his hands. That was great timing by the DB, number 24, Tom Livermore, the team special teams specialist. That's 3 specials in 1 sentence, Ryan.
Wow, Tony. And Haslett has stuffed the DeWitt running game, and they're now heading to their bread and butter, which is passing, led by senior quarterback Tony Police. And this is when the Haslett defense has to be on their toes.
That's going to be tough to do with these wet conditions, Ryan. That's why the quarter-inch spikes that they're wearing tonight are really going to come and play instead of the 1/8 that they usually wear, because they're expecting rain tonight, Ryan. Police again to the air. 5-set drop back. And Koss had no chance of it, at least 5-6 feet over his head. That's going to be a 4th down. And it looks to be that the Panthers are going for it. Ryan, there's still a lot of time on the clock. And then what do you think about this? I don't know. It's 4th and 10.
Well, it does happen to be 3rd down, Tony, and I would go for it usually on 3rd down.
Yeah, I'd say so, Ryan. That was my bad, and on a 4th down situation, it would be a bad decision, but 3rd down, yeah, I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Most teams would do it. I don't know if I would. Police again to the air. It's a great quick stop, and it's caught by 88. 89 make that. Chet Davis. But I think it's good. Oh, that's a great mark for DeWitt. That's going to be just short.
It's going to be a little short, and DeWitt will definitely go for this one.
Ryan, the referees really gave them a great mark there.
Yeah, they did.
I thought it ended up at around maybe the 44, 43. It's now marked on the 41, and they're just 1 yard short of that 1st down. And Panthers moving the chains for the first time tonight.
And this has now become the biggest play of the game right now. 4th down and 1 yard.
Guts time, folks.
Let's see what this defense is made of. He appears to have gotten it. The forward progress.
That was Police. Looks like he made 1.5 yard line. And that is going to be a 1st down for the Panthers.
And that's the advantage of having a big, strong quarterback. Just muscles his way through there for a 1st down.
And they are really excited over there on the DeWitt side. There's no score tonight, and anything big like this can really just send momentum onto the side of the team, especially late in the game, Ryan, when every play counts, every minute's a big minute.
And this is the farthest that the Panthers have marched all night.
Police again to the air.
And they're going to call pass interference. I don't believe it, Tony.
And this could be a huge break for the Panthers. It's a mishap there by number 24, Tom Livermore. And this is a huge break for the Panthers. I don't know what I can say. As a Viking fan, I'm not happy, and I can't imagine that Coach O is either. It's going to march it at least a good 20 yards up the field, Ryan. Putting the ball on the Vikings' 23-yard line. And they're now in field goal position, Ryan. They're now in field goal position. And the Panthers do have a very strong kicker. And Dan Kohler, I saw him. He's stocky and much like Sebastian Janikowski, formerly Florida State, now in the Oakland Raiders. I saw him knocking it dead from 45 earlier today. Police under center, 1st and 10. Again rolling out to their bread and butter on the pass. Finds O'Jenna, but he just can't come up with it. And that slippery ball has to be playing a key here, Ryan.
Yes, the slippery ball factor is definitely a big-time factor now, and with 8 minutes to go, that could be a problem.
Slider.
Okay, it's now 2nd and 10. And this is where the Vikings, #1 ranked defense in Division II, can show their stuff. They've only given up 6 points this year. And they're going to try to keep it to that right now. And this is a big game to hold that to only 6 points, Ryan. You don't want any chance of DeWitt scoring with a 0-0 game with just 8 minutes to play. Police a lot of time.
He's going for the end zone.
He finds a receiver.
And he drops it. The pass was right on the money, and that's number 86.
Jared Wood.
Jared Wood with the drop.
Wood not getting a lot of PT tonight. Could be a little rusty and cold, Ryan. But that was a great throw by Police. He's been right on the money tonight.
Here's the pass interference. Tom Livermore down there. They're going to flag him for it. And it appears that it was the right call by the refs.
Ryan, we were saying something just a second ago about Wood and the Police on that matchup. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10, 8:04. Big play right here for the Viking defense. Police again to the air.
He's looking for Cost in the end zone.
It's going to be a fade.
And he drops it. He had the ball there right in his hands.
2 big chances for the Panthers to come up with the first points of the game. And Coach Rob Zimmerman cannot be happy.
Zach Smith and Jared Twitchell were down there on the defense, but the ball was thrown and it hit him in the hands.
With a big game like this, any opportunity you can get to put points on the board, you got to go for it, Ryan. You got to come up with those big plays. It's 4th quarter, 7:58 to go. Time is ticking. I don't know how many more possessions you're going to have.
And they're not going to put it in the hands of the field goal kicker. That's the disadvantage of not having J.J. Danhoff. And this has now become the biggest play of the game.
Ryan, I think that wet ball had something to play with that in Rob Zimmerman's decision. He doesn't know how that handle could go, and they might be changing it right now. They got a chance to look at the Viking defense, and Police was a little confused. So, smart play. He's got 3 timeouts. He'll waste 1 here now. Like you said, this is the biggest play of the game right now at 4th and 10. And if they can come up with something here, it's almost automatic for points because they're going to be inside the 20, and a field goal, even with a wet ball, could definitely be about an 80%, 85% chance.
The Vikings' next game will be against Imlay City. That's their homecoming game, and that cross-country team is doing a run all the way from Imlay City, 90 miles.
Wow, 90 miles. Ryan, how does that work out? I mean, you're not actually running 90 miles, right?
Well, no. Well, we're starting out at probably 6 in the morning, and each person runs a mile, and then they switch it off. So everybody will probably end up running about 10. No, probably more like 10, 12. But it should be a very fun experience. Let's look at the Viking crowd one more time.
Sticking it out here in the cold weather. It stopped raining though.
Here it is, 4th and 10.
7:58 to go at Viking Stadium, TV25. See what Police, the quarterback, and senior leader is made of. Again to the air.
Incomplete.
Short drop to Agenda.
And Haslett will take over on downs.
Great defense by the Vikings, but more on it was the Panthers just not coming up big when they had the breaks, Ryan. 3 plays in a row they had it hit the hands of those receivers. And if you're Police, you cannot be happy.
4 straight incomplete passes, and right now Tom Livermore has to be a happy camper. After the pass interference called on him, his team able to prevent the touchdown.
Burn under center. Again with the rush up the middle, and there's a flags all over the place. Hinman, I think it's going to be face mask down there, and that's going to tack on 15 yards to this play. And that's going to be great for the Vikings.
Yes, good. It's only 5 yards if it's an unintentional face mask, but we're going to wait on the call.
It is face mask, and it was unintentional, and it's going to be 5 yards instead of.
And it is an automatic first down, however.
Anytime you can come up with something like that, Ryan, and get breaks late in this game, you'll take them. It's now 7:46 to go and counting. It's still a 0-0 game here in Viking Stadium, and one of the best games I've seen in a long time, right?
It appears he got near the marker. That was Adam Hinman on the carry.
Okay, that's gonna bring up another first down for the Vikings. And they're just gonna keep moving the chains. They're trying to come up with one of those drives like they had in the first time, drive the 65 yards now. They're on about the 35, and that would get them into the end zone. It's a handoff. Colpine wrapped up back about 4 yards deep. It's gonna bring up 2nd and long. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Vikings go to the air here. They've only gone twice tonight.
And one of them was on the 4th down. The pass was batted away incomplete.
Bird, a strong arm as a junior.
Open it up, Ryan!
He's led his teams throughout high school to just 1 loss throughout the first 2 years of his career through freshman and JV. And half of this year, he still hasn't lost. Strong run,
Still on
he's still
his feet. It only gains about 2 yards.
DeWitt throwing everything they can at him. They're just fighting it out in this battle of the Titans.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
This maul of the Marauders. This cringe of the Chaos Makers. Bird under center for a huge play. This is becoming one of the biggest plays for the Vikings tonight. With 5:50 and ticking, 3rd and 10. Bird tries to go to the air, lost the ball. Got to get on that if you're the Vikings. Piscato all over it. Quick thinking by Jeremy Piscato.
It's going to be a massive loss though on Haslett to punt from their own 20. But a big-time recovery by Piscato, preventing DeWitt to have excellent field position.
And they're going to come up with already some good field position though, Ryan. With the punter having to go back inside his own 10. Costback and Ojena both have much speed. Wide receivers tonight for the Panthers, and the tide seem to be turning after the first 3 quarters of Haslett dominating Ryan on the offensive and defensive side.
Well, DeWitt now in command of the field position battle, and this is a pretty decent punt by
Cost. Moves it up to the Vikings' 38-yard line, and right in position for the Panthers to get a strike.
There's just under 5 minutes to go.
And here's a replay of Bird. He mishandles that ball after the fake handoff when he goes out to pass. I think the ball is getting a little wet down there, Ryan. Not a good shot of it there, but Piscato, quick thinking, got back on that ball quick to provide even a bigger mishap than it already was. There's a good shot of the fans down there, sticking it out. It's a big game coming down to under 5 minutes now with 0-0 tie. Winner's probably spelling league championship. And Thalen, a great run up the middle. And his last 2 runs have been for 8 yards and more. And he's excited. It's going to bring up 2nd and short.
Yes, DeWitt definitely has the momentum right now, Tony. They're moving the ball on offense, and they're making the big-time plays on defense.
There's a good shot right there of Jared Twitchell trying to hype up these fans. This is a big play, and the defense really has to come up big. They got to keep it to a 0-0 tie, because if they do, Ryan, I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes into overtime. Police going to the air. Great catch by Ojena. He's inside the Vikings 15-yard line, down to the 13. And this is where the Panthers' passing game can be dangerous, inside the red zone.
And that there makes up for his drop on the last series.
The Panthers 8 of 12 this year inside the red zone. That was Chet Davis on the catch to make that.
So 1st and 10 on the Haslett 15-yard line.
Now inside field position. Looking at a score either way we go probably. It's a fumble by Police. Could be the break that the Vikings need.
But it appears that Police will have recovered that fumble. And now with the rain stopped, the passing game starting to click for DeWitt with 3:42 to play.
And the first one to score we said would probably win the game. And it could be the only one to score tonight, Ryan, with short time. DeWitt driving. And as a Viking fan, I hope it will not be DeWitt. But in this position they are now with their defense clicking and motivated on their side, I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen right now. Let's see what that number 1 in the state defense can do.
Haslett does have defensive playmakers, and we'll see what they're made of right now.
Police again to the air. He's going for the fade route. He's got Thalen open. That's a touchdown. It's the first score of the night. At 3:05 in the game, we get our first score.
And that is absolutely huge.
And the Panther fans are blowing up on their side. And a different story here on the Viking side in the booth, down in the stands in this cold and wet day.
The Haslett fans stunned.
But it is not over. We know the Vikings have a lot of heart in them, and they will not give up until that last whistle is blown, Ryan. And with the ball wet, let's see if the Police can mishandles, and maybe the Vikings will get a chance to get a touchdown. And it's good. We'll get that. Okay. See what they're made of. Let's see what Haslett's offense can really do. And I think we're going to get a chance to see Bird's arm, Ryan.
Yep, this is his chance to shine.
Here we're going to get a chance to get a replay of that last touchdown and the only score of the game. And Thalen was absolutely wide open. Who was covering him? I don't know.
There's Cole Thalen. Right there in the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball.
And we just heard word that Coach O, the head coach of this Viking team, yelling starburst. And me as a fan, I'm excited. I haven't seen this play in 3 years since Coach O's debut here. Well, 4 years ago he was, but they brought it into the second year. And this is the kind of fun that I like to see. Trick plays, bring it out in a big game like this in a rivalry matchup. You want to bring out stuff that teams haven't seen before, try to catch them off guard. Well, let's see how it happens, Ryan.
Haslett is stuck with their classic offense all night. Now perhaps changing it up and trying something new.
3:05 to go, Ryan. I'm excited. Pandemonium going on both sides of the field. Two different stories. DeWitt trying to hold on to that lead, trying to not get careless, and the Vikings driving for a victory in the stretches of the home game against the Panthers.
Swift kick fielded well. Here it is, the starburst.
Hidden in. Who's got it? Who's got it? I think that was Twitchell with the ball, and he's quickly wrapped up by number 42 on the Panthers side of the ball, Ryan Salto, a backup wide receiver and defensive lineman tonight. And a big play by Panthers after that trick play was brought out by the Vikings. Ryan, with the squib kick, I don't think they really had enough time to do it, Ryan.
No, they didn't. It was well played by the Panthers. 73 yards to go. 2:57 left.
I think that'll just about send it in for the time limit too, Ryan. Oh, it's a fumbled snap. This is not exactly what you do not want going on right now for the Vikings. Send it down. And the clock is ticking on most likely the Vikings league title right here tonight, Ryan.
A crucial first down there goes to waste. The clock continues to run. And this will likely be Haslett's last possession of the game. They need to get something going right now, right here. They can't wait any longer.
And every play is the biggest play, Ryan. Every play. No room for mishaps. It's all guts. A little mishandle again there. Bird with a lot of room. He'll run it out, but he's dropped for another loss by number 59, Ben Bilich. Huge tackle.
And that hole closed up on quickly. He thought that they saw something there, but it closed on him quickly, and he had nothing. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and a long ways. About 13 yards with 2:06 to play.
We're going to get a replay on that soon. Ryan, there's now 2 plays to go on the Vikings for another year till they'll get another chance at DeWitt. They want to do it now. They don't want to be training all year like DeWitt has and have to have the score up in their weight room, our weight room. Want to come out victorious tonight, try to send us to 4-0. Both teams have been fighting it out. It's been no one really dominating. It's been a defensive battle. There's Bird on the outside. Looked like he had room to run, but Bilich speeding around that end. For the Vikings. See if this offensive line can come up big like they have all game and try to give Burt some time back there for a pass. There he is. Bilich, you get on the rush. And he drops Bird for a 10-yard loss. And now 1 more down to go for the Vikings.
And this will likely be their last chance.
I can't same play.
Okay, Ryan. 1:53 to go on the Vikings League Championship hopes.
And Haslett has not lost at home in 3 years. And they have 1 play to try to prevent that 4th down and 23.
Port really getting after the boys there. Like you said, Ryan, they haven't lost in 2.5 seasons. They're 19-0 over the regular season and 26-2. Make that 29-2, counting this season. And this is not where they want to end the streak. Right? Not in the home stadium. See a pass situation here.
So here it is. Let's
see if we can give him time. Bird sent it to Hunt. He's got it.
He's short.
He's short. It's a catch, though. He's going to be 5 yards short. And those 2 sacks have spelled to be costly for the Vikings. And there's still 1:46 to go on the clock, Ryan.
But no timeouts left, Tony. This one's history. The only hope is a fumble.
And if you're Rob Zimmerman, you take a kneel, Ryan. You don't want to even, I don't even want to put it in the hands of running backs where the ball's wet, maybe get a helmet on that ball and cause a fumble.
You have to agree, Tony.
It's a sad day here for me in the booth in Ryan Rutherford Viking Stadium. We really thought this was the year for the Vikings, but this doesn't really say anything. This is 1 loss, and with the new playoff situation, you come up with 6 wins, and you're going to the playoffs. And with the DeWitt being so good this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see Vikings and the Panthers get 1 more matchup in the playoffs, because we know our Vikings will be there. Because they won't let this affect them. It's only a 4th game of the season. They'll keep working on their plays in practice, and they'll come out big week in and week out. Try to still strive for that state championship.
Probably Haslett's only hope now for an ICL title is for DeWitt to lose to Fowlerville, which is very likely.
Fowlerville also a great defense. They've got good DBs, which could match up good against DeWitt's passing game. And Police takes a kneel. He's going to send it under 1 minute now.
And our player of the game tonight for Haslett is number 52, Jeremy Piscato, playing stifling defense.
I'm guessing that Scotto coming up big this game with that hand injury. I don't think we're going to get an interview this time, though, from him. It's cold and wet out there, and Vikings probably aren't really happy right now. I wouldn't be. I mean, this is not a great chance for them to win the league title now, but they're going to keep plugging along. They're going to keep going out there. They're going to keep making tackles, keep bringing out that big defense. They've still only let up 13 points this season, Ryan. But that 7, let me tell you, is big. And the DeWitt Panthers are rushing the field with their fans. And we're going to close it out here on TV25. 7-0 game. DeWitt Panthers come out with the victory here in Viking Stadium.
Thank you for watching. This has been a TV25 broadcast.
And I'd like to thank our director tonight, Brian Town and Jessica Sider. Good night and Godspeed.